What's going on? My name is Zac Holcomb with Out of America. Welcome back to Kicking It With. Today we got episode 3, and we have Mr. Pete Fantini joining us today.
For you, man, I'd like to see you run again. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see you get up there, get your face out there and say, these people ain't shutting me down.
Yeah, for sure.
We're Americans. You ain't doing it.
For sure.
I'm a patriot. Prove me wrong.
Yeah, man, that was like one of the big things for me on it was like, I kind of went into like the doldrums there a little bit, you know, like we kind of talked off camera of, you know, how that went. And, you know, a lot of things that people don't know still is, you know, I went through a whole transition period right after running into things with my business of, you know, partners kind of wanting to go to different ways, and it just changes your priorities immediately when your your source of income is in jeopardy. And so, yeah, kind of transitioned out of that, and then we kind of run through there, close on that deal the end of March, and then it's like, you know, now we got to still make sure we do all this and we stay alive and eat. But man, it was almost like the time of year was coming back around and things started kicking back in my mind again, and then kind of seeing that was just like, it was like a swift kick in the pants of like, to me, and that's why I jumped on the Don't Gavel Me thing so hard, is like I was getting gavelled a little bit by taking a beating in the election and doing this and then having these other things happen where it was kind of like, you know, I was just kind of like off and doing just whatever, just kind of flowing like water, and then it was like boom immediately, and I'm back to like,
that energy.
Yeah, it's like you're not alone, right? Like it's like. My dad related today, like upstairs, we're finishing the upstairs, and he's like, man, being up there by yourself sucks. Like, you're just cutting wood and nailing it to the wall, and, you know, you stand there and you go, his name's Rick, he goes, you know, you put a board up and you go, that's a good cut right there, Rick. That board looks really good, Rick. He goes, you can only do that about 3 or 4 times, and then you quit laughing at your jokes. Yeah. And he goes, but man, having somebody else up there to pull you, say, hey, what's that measurement? Just stay up there on that ladder, and I got it. And all of a sudden you're like, I could work up here for 10 hours straight.
Support.
Yeah, it's pulling ponies, we call it a little bit too, coming from the north. Anheuser-Busch pulling ponies, you know, the Clydesdales. Yeah. Did you know? I don't know what the actual facts are, so you'll have to fact check this and throw it in, Jerry. A horse can say pull whatever by itself. And so if you have 2 horses, let's just say 1,000 pounds, a horse can pull 1,000 pounds. And then another horse, just 1,000 pounds. But if you put 2 horses together and pull, now I'll get some farmers will come out and tell us what it is, because I'm not that guy.
Right.
But there's something about it. You put 2 horses together, and all of a sudden the 2 horses together can pull 2,500 pounds.
Yeah.
And then you add another horse, and you add another horse, and it's not like you're just adding 1,000. You're adding a pulling pony power of that. Once they get the momentum going, there's a little, you know, I'm pulling, you're pulling, I'm pulling, you're pulling.
So what's the saying? Pulling pony power?
Pulling ponies is what the way that my dad responds it is. You can do a lot by yourself, but if you have another person that accentuates what you're doing and can also maybe do some things that you don't do so well too. So like the greatest example of it in my life, I guess, like just going back on things like things in work and stuff with like my brother. In general, I've always been the more A-type, outspoken leader of things on the outside, but I'm largely able, and especially now in the business, like the back end of things is he's the hands-on guy. He's the, you know, construction guy. He's the one that can grab it and make it. He can hang the lights and make it look all fantastic. And I can take a video of that light, and I can tell you what we did to take the old one down, how we spun it, like how we put this new one up, and I can make that all fantastic. But like actually going up on the ladder and putting it in, I'm not trying to do that. And he's not trying to make a video about it.
Right.
But like at the end of the day, he's getting a little extra shine because he's on the video on the ladder because I'm taking it. So now he's getting a little bit of shine on it too. Yeah. And then, well, it's hard to make a video about a life. It never gets hung. So, you know, and in the end, it benefits, teamwork is benefiting people. And that's again another thing that's like, we're trying to get that through to people down here, especially in the downtowns. Of like, we're all in downtown Kinston. So if we're having any bit of like ego situation going on, we got to realize none of us are really doing it the way we want to, because we'd be doing it way bigger. And the only reason we're doing what we're doing today is so that we can be doing it way bigger. So like, whether I'm here or you think I'm here or I think you're there or here, it's really, we're all in our grind and we're all trying to get better. So like, we're actually all doing the same thing every day. Why is it got to be?
How do the fellow business owners feel with you and everything?
Well, I'm like polarizing, right? So it's a shakeup. Like you may get, I think some people love us, and I think some people would tell you. I know hands down, there's people that will literally maybe comment on this and say that they hate me, like, and but I love it because without that, and like you said earlier too, like once someone is in their feels so hard against you,
you're not
write that one off. It is what it is. It's not the end of the day.
Still want to talk to them.
Yeah, I'll still hear you.
But you're never going to change that person's mind.
Yeah, I don't need to become emotionally invested in trying to change your mind because you're an adult and that's your thing and it's your choice, which is fine. But I mean, I would say there's folks that are very supportive. There's folks that are not supportive at all. There's detractors, like active detractors. That's why I jumped out of the Chamber of Commerce, was because I'm paying my company. Let me get this right. My company is paying to be a member of an association, and the vice president of business development of said organization actively posts things running my name down on social media.
Really?
And we write you a letter about it to bring it to your attention, and nothing happens. But man, I got that request for the next $500 in dues coming up. No. Why would I pay to be a part of something where a person in a senior or in a leadership position of said association is actively doing it, and it's brought to your attention and nothing? Well, cool. Don't ask me for that check again. And it's again, I would love to be supportive of it. Like, why wouldn't? It's not that much money. It goes to the things and the goods and the feel goods. But it's like,
I get it. And,
I can buy a lot of T-shirts and just give them to people that I like for $500.
Well,
I can go buy a lot of hats from Kennedy at Southern Stitch and just give them away.
I don't have a business, right?
Right.
But I joined the Chamber of Commerce.
Nice.
Not for me.
Yeah.
I joined the Chamber of Commerce for those businesses down there.
Yeah.
Because they're so against Chamber of Commerce down there. For whatever reason, there was one down in Pink Hill a long time ago, and they just, something happened. Mm-hmm. So I joined the one up here.
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to be making it the Lenoir County instead of the Kinston.
Yeah, which would be great.
For me, it helps me because I want those businesses promoted. Mm-hmm. I want ribbon cutting. So like Food Line, they're doing it's the drive-through thing. They're starting that where you call in your order, someone's going to pick it all up and they're going to bring it out and you're going to be in the car driving. Mm-hmm. Haven't had it, right? But a lot of places have. Mm-hmm. They're going to start that, and they asked me to do the ribbon cutting Monday. Don't know why they asked me. Whatever, I'll do it. I'm happy to do it. I love it. Yeah. Chamber of Commerce. I want to make sure they're there.
Yeah.
To promote these things, I know it's Food Line, that's a big industry, but I want it for the small ones too. Yeah. So, yes, I had to pay to be part of the Chamber of Commerce, but for the small, it's worth it for me, for my people. You know what I mean?
Totally get it. Yeah, like I said, for me, it wasn't the money. Like, that's whatever. It's just the,
not being.
I'll just keep my cash over here then. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, how could someone be in
for businesses?
How could you be a vice president of business development for a chamber of commerce in any setting anywhere in the world and actively post degrading things about a person whose business is a paid member, active, and that person isn't doing any of those things to you? So it's like you're just going on attacks because where I go with it is you just attack me because you're jealous, and it's like, because if you weren't, you wouldn't have you wouldn't care. Yeah. And that's where I go back, like the rap song. Why don't you talk about some stuff that you like because you seem to hate me so much?
Yeah.
What are you concerning? Don't allow me to consume your life so much,
please. We were talking about music and stuff, but like rap music, I listen to Dre when I work out because it just is, some of that stuff is just like, okay, man, you hate me, but I'm Dre. Yeah. I'm Dre. I'm not going anywhere.
Yep.
Have you talked to Vicki Jones?
I haven't.
You know, she's the president.
Yeah. Since you just came in after Craig. Mm-hmm.
She spent a lot of time down there in Pink Hill with me.
That's awesome.
And she's very sensible.
Good.
Very, very open.
Cool.
Reach out to her.
I'll do that.
Because I believe Vicki is a very sensible woman. Mm-hmm. She's come from a different background.
Right on.
She was the GM of Channel 9 News.
Yeah, I did see that.
Mm-hmm. Listen,
this was old regime. This was like a year and a half ago.
Not whatever. Reach out to her.
For sure.
I mean,
I'll do that.
I'll do it if you want.
Yeah, sure.
I'm very close with her.
I definitely I like the videos that they're doing. They're going around town and doing that stuff. With I think Brian Hanks is helping them do that, and with Linda a little, and that stuff's fantastic. Anytime you can do a business spotlight, you're killing it. I mean, and it's so easy and free. I mean, it literally costs nothing but 15, 20 minutes of your time to walk in and do an interview. Engage LA if you don't.
Just talk to people.
Yeah. Shameless plug for Engage LA. I'm not a part of them other than, it's the same people that we've kind of been chatting about, but they will go around in LaGrange and just interview a random business and they had one the other day that Daleco, I didn't even know that they were over there doing, they got a water jet and they cut aluminum and steel and bend it and form it and all this stuff. And I was like, sweet.
Yeah.
I used to send that work when I lived in Columbus. I'd send that work to different people and it was like awesome. I got a spot right over here in the county that, I mean, I haven't reached out to them or checked it out yet, but I'm going to be headed over there in the next week or so. It's like, who knows? We do 3D printing. We do stuff that they could,
right.
that they can get
Vice
into.
versa.
Yeah, jaws, clamps, all sorts of things.
LaGrange is growing, man.
It's about to pop. It's going to overrun some of these other ones if they don't.
So they're
serious.
They got a 300 home track coming in with homes that are no less than $300,000.
What you need.
If I could just get right now, I'd be happy in Pink Hill if I get 25 homes at $200,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we have the space for it. They don't want to give it up.
Yeah, you got to
You got to get some of you guys give up the
allow
property.
someone else to do the work and make some of the money. Like
Right.
that's.
So people are sitting on
That's
land down there because they think that they're on a gold mine.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, they'll be heartbroken if in 5 years we go under.
Yeah, because
And that land ain't gonna be worth nothing.
Yeah.
So
the first one to sell wins, and the last one to sell wins. Like everybody in between, you're still winning. Like if you sell, and I'm not gonna sell first because then my farmland is gonna be turned into a neighborhood with all these stick homes, and then Billy over there, his property is gonna be worth. He's gonna sell it for more per acre than us. Aren't you gone earlier?
yeah, doesn't it matter?
Did you?
Why
out?
does it matter?
It's the silliest.
You got out,
where we
you
come
got
from,
you.
and I'll get crucified for this by farm people or the farmers, but like they will sell you. It's what they do in growing cities.
Yeah.
They sell farmland. They convert it to neighborhoods. They increase the tax revenue at an insane rate. They build new schools. They attract teachers that care about their job,
Yep.
and they keep them. And people don't leave, and you don't have vacant buildings on your front lawn.
And
It's amazing. It's
there's
great.
still enough farmland in this county, in the state,
Ton of it.
that
Especially here.
Our farming industry isn't going to die
going to
if you
make
start
it.
doing that, right?
Yes.
It's still going to produce. It's still going to make. There's so much more efficient at doing it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead
technology
of having
is
100,000 acres, you can have 100 acres to make almost the same amount of money. You know, so
Yeah, all the technology and stuff that's going in that. It's a big industry, man. Big industry. My stepdad sells a lot of stuff like vibration testing equipment, stuff like that, to like the companies that make a lot of that farm equipment, and it's
we have one of the biggest
big money.
One of the biggest farm equipment sellers in Pink Hill, Johnny D. Shepherd's. And I'm not plugging anybody, but what I'm saying is this guy sells East Coast.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, East Coast. So the farming industry is there. It's never going to go away. But to take some of that, farmland in the city limits. I mean, come on, right? Let's do something better with that, right?
Yep, tax them.
Especially if you're not farming.
Yeah, if it's just
It's not being farmed.
dormant.
Being farmed. So let's do something with that.
Yeah.
My family land. Your family land is just sitting there. And you made the town 10 years ago put a water line through there with 2 fire hydrants. That'd be perfect.
It's ready to rock.
But here we go. Here we go. Good old money, good old people. You know? And you're never going to get around that if you don't consistently try. You know? Well, someone said a long time ago, trying's dying. You used to hear that in the Marine Corps or whatever. I don't believe that. You have to try till you succeed.
Yep.
But the second you stop trying, then that's it. But just don't stop trying.
Yep.
Just do, right?
Exactly.
Get it done.
Yep. Shoot the shots, man. The more shots you shoot, the more that you make. I mean, like, you can go cliche on these things all day long, but like, I think it's Kobe Bryant has more missed shots ever in NBA games.
Yeah. Listen, your snipers.
Yeah.
You think they were hitting dead zero every time? from the beginning. No, you got to practice. You got to do it. You got to get it done.
That's where technology doesn't help us as a society, in my opinion, because it's so easy to just see the glitz and the glory of the person that's at the end, and there's no glorification of the pay period anymore.
Nope. And
we got to get back to that.
But you also got maybe $10 an hour workers wanting $30.
Mm-hmm.
So if you give me the effort of a $30 an hour worker, I'm giving it to you.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I want you to have it, man. I want you to succeed. I want everybody to. I want everybody to have a great life, based on whatever. For me, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not even a whatever. But my life is great for what I have and what we make. Mm-hmm. I want everybody to feel exactly the same way. Yep. But you better put the effort in.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
You can't be an $8 an hour worker wanting $30.
Yeah, was it champagne dreams and caviar wishes or something like that? I don't actually know that. I've just heard it.
I know what you're saying, and the thing is it's like everybody wants to have a champagne life. Yeah. But you have a soda pop.
Yeah, quit making it cool to walk by people that have cool things and be like, must be nice.
Right.
Because tell my wife, must be nice to anything that we have, because she's the one dealing with me never being there for this and that and the other to be able to find the opportunities for other things. It's must be nice that I slept a hell of a lot less than you for a long time to be able to get to what I done or have done or am doing. And a lot of people, that's just
pure
easier.
Ignorance. It's ignorance to not put yourself in somebody else.
Oh, for sure.
I'll never do
Give
that.
Give them both sides of it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Listen, I'll never do that. I have been in the worst of worst. Down and down. Bottom. Even in the service. I mean, they don't pay you a whole lot in the service. I mean, but never once did I go, I sure wish I was that guy, or I sure wish I had what he had. No, I didn't wish. I went.
Yeah, go get it.
And I'm going to go get it. Yeah. That's what I want people to understand is go get it.
Yep.
Go get it. Yep. If you're not happy where you're at, go get it.
Yep. Anyone can do it. We all have, if you have one of these, you have the access to the internet, which means you have the access to eBay to sell all that crap that you have in your car, in your room, that you're not using while you're complaining about not having enough money to go do something that you want to do. Or
don't be jealous.
I need to invest. I need this. If I just had 500, my favorite is this. Well, if I just had $500, I guarantee you almost any single person can go through their closet and pull $500 worth of swag out.
Oh, I know.
Sell
Trust
it.
me. I got a wife that lives on Poshmark, something like that. She sells stuff left and right. Mm-hmm. She makes money all the time.
I will go to there all day long on. I just wish I had the money to get started. Do you have one pair of Jordans?
I don't.
Well, right, but most people that are saying it,
right.
Most people that are like, if I just had the money to get started, man, I could do this and this and this, and I literally will look at them and say, do you have one pair of nice shoes? Do you have one pair of Jordans?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I got 3 pairs. Pick the ones that are the nicest or the ones that you like the least and sell them, and there you go. If you have $100, hit the garage sales all weekend, you're going to find $500 worth of stuff.
Yep.
And then you do it next weekend, you're at $2,500. You do it next weekend, you're at $12,500. Don't tell me it can't be done. We did it. When I quit my job, we pulled a retirement check out. We pulled cash out. We started going and hitting garage sales all around Columbus. Just find them. They're all over Facebook. You go, you only look for things that you know work. You have literally eBay in your pocket. You can search sold listings of Zelda on Nintendo while you're looking at it, and the guy wants $7 for it. And you're like, this is a $55 game. It's everywhere. It's all day long. Anyone can do it. I've done it myself. It's crazy cheap. And but you want to sit there and scroll and say, it must be nice. Like, no. Go get it. Go get it. You can start with literally $100. It's crazy. But anyway.
So Zach, what's the future for you here?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of we're kind of in that, what do we want to do next phase of our lives? I think we kind of came down here. We've done this. We've got the building almost finished. So we're finishing the upstairs so we can move up there and live here before too long. So we're kind of this, I don't know which project was bigger, launching Additive America and moving down here and doing all that, or taking on the building and trying to finish it all and all the hoopla of that all during COVID, and then split of ownership with the company, and then all of the things. So I don't really know what's next, man. I'm trying to.
NC's your home?
I kind of feel like we're gonna chill for a while. We love the downtown, and that's why we wanted to live down here. Is once we get moved downtown, the only time we really have to get in the car is to like go pick up scooters or go to Food Lion and get groceries. But other than that, and gas. But other than that, every time we go, we worked right down here. We get off work, we walk down the street, we walk over here, we grab food, and then, you know, we get in the car and we drive to the house we live in and we fall asleep, and then we wake up and we come back down here. So we're super excited for that. And like, you know, my kids they're doing their homeschool stuff, man, they're right upstairs, and that'll be sweet. So that's kind of where I'm at, like, for all the blood, sweat, and tears that we put in to get in this place finished from what it was, pretty much just a core or a shell. I think we're going to be chilling for a while, and the reason is the cost of living is fantastic. Everything, like, all that works for the business. As long as I got the internet and a UPS truck, business can operate and power. Yep. So that's cool. And if Kinston becomes a little too much for a couple of days, well, we take some of that money that we saved from that cost of living over living somewhere else, and you can go on vacation wherever you want with that. So that's kind of what we really like of it, is it's like, am I going to be here 365 days a year when I have the ability to go on little trips and 3-day weekends and stuff? No. But am I going to be here 295 to 340? Probably. Love the coast being right there, coming from the north, and you gotta listen that.
Listen, we have a place down at the beach, and when I say place, it's a tiny house. It's very small,
That's all I need.
Very quaint, just good enough for us, but it's right there on the water.
Yeah.
And we love to go down there, and that's our getaway. That's our breakaway. Now, I ain't been there since Labor Day weekend.
Probably got to get back
because busy. We'll be busy in that town trying to move and shake, but but we're due to go down there. Even in the winter, it's still good to go down there and get a little fire going.
Yeah, you can still hear the water.
Oh, yeah. Smell salt water, salt air. It does something for the soul. It does something for your body. So, what's in it for the candidacy, though?
For candidacy?
Are you going to run?
I don't know, man. Steph and I were talking about today. We were coming back, and we were in the car, and I was like, I don't know. What do you do? Do you just, like, we were talking about how difficult it is to win something like a mayor's seat in a town like Kinston, with the things that you have to overcome and the footwork that you have to put in to make it happen. But we were like, to run every single time, even if you got killed in it, you're still putting out ideas you're still in it. You're still voicing, you're still listening to other people, and there's people that'll call you because they don't want to say it, but they feel like you will say it for them. And things like that. And it's not necessarily saying things that I don't want to say, but it's like sometimes people bring things up to me and I'm like, I hadn't thought about that way. That is a good point. Or that's better wording, or that's a different wording for something that I feel I share that sentiment. So I like being like that. I like being a mouthpiece for the silenced. Yeah. And for those that have the public jobs or the this jobs where they're in sales, and it's just, you know, they like their opinion, but they like their they gotta have a living. Right. And I totally get that. Yeah. So I like kind of being the voice box for those people. I don't know, man. Maybe a council.
Yes.
There's a couple coming up next year.
Listen, I think people don't get it. Commissioners and council,
that's where the ones that vote. Yeah, the vote's where it's at.
And they're impactful. I mean, you know, I'm not saying that a mayor's just a bobblehead, and I don't want anybody to take that the wrong way. But commissioners and council, they're the ones that have the vote. They're really, when you look at Pink Hill, it is the town commissioners board meeting. Yeah. It is not the mayor's meeting. It is the commissioners meeting. We bring the ideas. We see things. If I see something needs to be fixed or something needs to be upgraded, that's my job to bring it there. Mm-hmm. Then it's our job to vote together. Yeah. City council? Yeah, man.
Yeah, I feel that too. And my big thing on that stuff is if you ran and were elected by the constituents, and then a decision comes up where you need to, like, find a new police chief again. I don't know how many years I've been here, but I think it's like one per year right now that we're running. And there's some interim things. And there's a lot of things that factor into it.
As a matter of fact, she lives right next to my camper down at the beach. So
all right.
I know them, and I know how all that went down, and I get it. But you're right. The decision of
where I'm going with that is, like, if there's 5 of you that have been elected because the 5 have no problem with saying, I was elected because of this. I this, and they're all generally good qualities, because no one would say I got elected for my lack of ability to make a tough decision. But, like, it's all the positives, and I'm a good decision maker. I this and this and this, and these are my values. Well, then, if you were all elected for that position, then why are we opening up a hiring of a police chief to a survey of let's ask the constituents again for their opinion. You got their opinion. You get their opinion every 4 years in November when they decide to bring someone new in or kick someone else out, or like the voters choose the people that get to place the 5 votes. So why do you turn every tough decision back over to a survey of 9 or 11 people? That to me is like, just make a decision, and if it sucks, answer for it when you're up for election.
That's it.
We put you in there because we believe in you. So make the damn vote.
And not everybody's going to make the right decision. So, but if you don't make the decision, own it.
Tell me why it went that way. Yeah, it's just accountability. But you got to be able to stand up and make a daggone decision.
My favorite word, you just said it, accountability.
I love it.
Favorite word, accountability.
It makes and breaks champions, man.
But it also makes people crawl back in their little holes. It does. It does. I promise. Sure. It does. And it makes other people shine. Right?
Yeah.
So you're people that are doing the right thing and getting things done. You hold them accountable. They're like, yeah, I love it, right?
Yeah.
So again, performance evaluations.
Yep.
They don't do them down there.
Right.
Why am I supposed to give you a raise?
Tell me why.
I need to know what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Yep.
But accountability. My favorite word is accountability. And I said it on that video, unfortunately, is where it got out. But accountability isn't bullying. Accountability is, hey, if you're not doing your job, we're going to change some things.
Yep.
Or you're not going to have a job. That's it.
Yep.
How can I help you change those things? Let's talk.
Yeah. The only people that fear the words accountability and consequences are people that aren't putting in 100. They're people that know deep down in their soul they're not giving it their all. Because if you are, you love them. Oh, accountability? I love accountability, especially in wrestling. And that's my sport. Love accountability in wrestling. Well, that's fine. We're just going to go out there on the mat, and then after 6 minutes, we're going to find out just how much running and working out you did over the summer, because I know I did mine. Right. And I did it every day, and I never skipped, and when I did, I felt like a horrible piece of crap for it, and then I went double the next day to make it up, and then you get out there and you're like, I love accountability. I love this whole thing right here of let's see what happens with all that stuff that we were doing. So, I don't know. Welcome to the podcast. Haven't met you before tonight, so you're gonna get to know Pete from the jump, just like I am. So we're just gonna really just jump in. Pete what is the technical title? So I don't slam it. What's the technical title of what you've been elected to by your constituents in the town of Pink Hill?
So I'm a town commissioner down there. Specifically, I'm the fire commissioner.
Okay.
I'm one of 3 commissioners in the town.
All right, sounds good. And then basically, I just wanted to start out with like, how does a guy like you end up all the way down here at this point in life? Like, how does it get started? Like, what's the life story behind Pete Fantini that, gets you to this point? I know there's some service mixed in, there's a lot of travel, there's going to other countries, there's traveling and being stationed in different places, and I think those are usually the places where you've been tell the story of kind of who you've become.
Yeah, so kind of an old head, to be honest with you. I joined the service in '94. Went through some special training, got on some special teams. From there, I just been everywhere. I've been to 24 countries, lived in 7 states. Out of those 24 countries, I probably did some battles on about 8 of them. Good people, bad people, indifferent, doesn't matter, right?
Yep.
But you learn so much from every one of those people, no matter what. Good people, bad people. In 1999, I actually got out of the service. In 2001, after 9/11, I got a presidential recall back to active duty, and got stationed at Camp Lejeune. I was with a MARSOC unit down there, and from there, I was stationed there until I retired in 2018.
Oh, right on.
Now, I was gone for a lot, but I never got married until I was 37, and which was very good, because it's hard.
Yeah,
to have a family in that lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So in 2017, my wife said, it's time to go home, you're hurt, all those things. Let's do it. Let's find a place to settle down and retire. My wife is from North Carolina. Mm-hmm. I am not.
Mm-hmm. Where are you originally from?
Philadelphia. And I'm not ashamed of it. I love where I was raised. I learned a lot from there too, but I am in the South, and this is my home. Mm-hmm. So we ended up having a bunch of friends down in Pink Hill, and they asked us to come down there, and we found a beautiful place down there, and that's what we call home now. That is our home.
Awesome.
We have a 2-year-old that we are lucky to have, and I have an 18-year-old that goes to ECU.
Oh, right on. So nice and close.
So, yep.
That's
So
cool.
Pink Hill was where I ended up retiring to, and man, I kind of watched for a little bit what was going on down there. It had just gotten stagnant, and people kept telling me 10 years, there's been nothing here. So I started going to town hall meetings, and I started watching, and I went, I really don't like this, right? Like, I don't like we're going to put the wall up, you're not going to do anything. Status quo. So I was like, well, let me run. So I registered and ran. Come to find out, our mayor had passed away, God bless her soul. And one of the other commissioners moved up. He pulled me into his seat, but I still had to run for the election. And so in 2021, I was elected for the commissioner spot and appointed as a fire commissioner.
Right on. Very cool. So
I don't know what the qualifications were, but I mean,
Well,
but I made it in there.
yeah,
So
running and caring enough to put your name out there, I
Yeah.
guess would be what
Yeah.
I would say. Well, that's really cool. So you get in, so I think I remember I read it right. So yeah, they had the passing.
yeah, he was the
Kind of
mayor.
appointment, and
Mike
then
Hill
brought
was the
you
mayor
in.
pro tem,
Gotcha.
and he moved into her spot,
Okay.
and then pulled me up
Gotcha.
before the election, and then I still had to run the
in that
election.
election. Right on. How was running? Had you run for anything before?
Never.
No.
Everything I'd done in my life, I had earned the rank.
Right.
And this was kind of, putting myself out there. I had to go around to people.
Yeah.
But Fantini, right? That's not a Southern name.
It's not one of the.
Most people can't even say it.
Yeah,
Right?
I'll put myself in a box. It's not one of the 12 last names that you
No.
hear all the time. You know what I mean?
So I had to really put myself out there and just tell them what I was about. And
Yeah.
honestly, most of them took real good to that.
Yeah.
And at that point, I still didn't know what avenue I was trying to bring this town to. But it clicked. It just clicked. I started watching, and I was like, well, they're not doing anything. And they're not doing anything. How do we make this happen? Still didn't work, though.
For sure.
So when you look at government, right, and you look at that little government down there in Pink Hill, 3 commissioners, if 2 of them were friends,
Yep.
they vote against you.
Yeah.
It just became a stalemate the whole time. The mayor didn't help.
For sure.
So,
For sure. Yeah, I know a
And
lot
I'm-
about that.
I'm not here to say anything negative about them. I think they're set in their ways, and they're okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm
Just
not.
fine.
I'm not. I'm just not okay with it. And I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of people that technically, most of them can't vote for me because they live outside of town limits.
Right.
But they're not okay with it.
Yeah. I know how you feel then.
So
Yeah.
I can't say I have had a blast doing it.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's been
Pretty stressful. For sure.
very, very.
For sure.
You
Yeah,
know,
some people have said that to me. Like, they're like, man, it's the biggest blessing in disguise of running and not getting, because the stress and all the other things that come with it. And I was like, yeah, initially you're like, whatever. Like, that was like, all the messages that come in like the day after. And
Right,
it's
right.
Like, man, it would have been great. Don't beat yourself up. And I was like, man, I actually slept like a baby that night after I found out. I was like, oh my gosh, cool. Because what would I have done the next day?
Well, I mean,
So I was like, all right, on that end. But on the other end, then I was like ultra competitive. And I'm like,
yes.
it's still an L, baby. Like, a loss is a loss. And so I don't know. It's
Yeah, but
definitely
you
an
ran
interesting
on
thing.
you ran on a much bigger scale, right? So you're talking about Kinston.
True. Yeah, how many people are in Pink Hill for the?
So we have
not really
almost 700, but
Okay.
our voter, because not everybody's registered. So
Yeah.
I think our voter base right now is about 380. When I got in office, it was about 210, and I've been getting out and getting people to register and doing those things. But we have a unique ability to grow that because the Pink Hill community. So if you talk about the community, which I'm very pro community, because our businesses, which you know how this is, our businesses in town, if they don't live there, they don't have a say. We go back to that old thing, back in the 1700s, right? Taxation without representation. And that's what they're doing. They're paying taxes in town.
Yep.
They don't have the representation.
Yep.
Well, that's what I want to be.
Exactly.
And I've had my, fellow commissioners go, Pete, the people inside this town are the ones we serve. No, we do not. Yeah. Because the people inside this town do not keep those businesses alive. Right. So, and that tax base is based off that. Mm-hmm. We need it because we will not survive. Yeah. I promise you this. I've looked at the books. I've looked at the budget. 5 years. I give Pink Hill 5 years before it turns into a bypass town. Right. If we don't change.
Yeah. You got to have restaurants to bring the people in, and it's not necessarily something that you're helping build up. It's like, like you said, like hearing that doesn't benefit our constituents that live here. Does more tax revenue benefit the people that live here? With the ability to put pedestrian crossings at the major intersection in downtown where most people
curbs?
Curbs, yeah.
We don't even have curbs or sidewalks.
Enforce parking laws. That's a revenue source right there.
Second, we've got 2 officers in there.
Yeah.
2 police officers. How about getting a third?
Sounds reasonable.
We had a long discussion about this, and this mixed beverage buy the drink is on the ballot in November, and it's huge. Mm-hmm. And everybody wants to think about it as, oh my God, people are going to get drunk. They're going to drink. They're going to get
DUIs
drunk.
all over the place.
We have an ABC store in the center of town. I've watched people get out in their car, drink a bottle, and chase it with a Pepsi. Absolutely. And listen, to each their own.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in this. Let adults be adults. My daddy taught me a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Good choices, bad choices. Good outcomes, bad outcomes. Hey, listen, we're not going to control people anymore. We should not do that in the United States of America. We have a full-blown constitution that says we have rights. Yep. But we also have the right to make the wrong decision. Mm-hmm. And then you have the right to pay for that decision.
Yeah, I mean, and consequences doesn't have to always be a negative connotation either. It goes both hands. Yeah, if you want there to be accountability on certain people for certain things, but want to make excuses for other situations, you're just really, it's like you're an oxymoron in yourself of like what your desires are based on your personal preferences. And it's like, Absolutely. No. The whole point was we all get to disagree. That's the beauty of it, and we can say it and it doesn't matter. Or it does, or whatever, but like,
I love anybody that wants to disagree with me.
Yeah,
because I love that they have that opinion.
Yes.
That they have that fire. I don't. My gosh, I do not want everybody to agree with me because it would not be fun.
No, it'd be
and it would not be
boring.
Right? So here we go, and I'm going to say this again with this mixed beverage thing. I had a lady come up to me and she goes, "I don't let alcohol touch my lips. I don't want to be around it." I said, "Well, ma'am, have you eaten at Ribeyes or Longhorn or Applebee's or any of those?" "Well, yes." "Well, there's alcohol being served in there." Yeah. I said, "You don't have to touch it. That's your choice." But here in our town, and I say this, Pink Hill is a corridor. A lot of people don't get it. If you live in Kinston or Winterville, Ayden, Greenville, and you want to go to Wilmington, you have to come through our town.
We do.
One way or another. So you're going to go down the 11 or you're going to go down 241 to get to the 40.
Yep.
We are not capturing that traffic.
How many times we go through it all the time? Steph's over here. We go every single time we go to Fort Fisher. That's like our place to go, and like South End down there. And we go all the time, and we end up going the 1 hour point. Like it's a 2 hour drive, and the 1 hour point is when you hop on whatever that
40.
major highway is heading down in there.
Where the Mad Boar is?
Yeah, and the Bojangles and the gas station. And man, how often we roll through Pink Hill, because I'm like this guy. I'm from Ohio, right? So Ohio State, Michigan, big rivalry. Woody Hayes was like this big, rough and tough, old school coach for them back in like the 70s. And they used to drive to Ann Arbor every other year to play Michigan. And Ohio people hate Michigan people, and Michigan people hate Ohio people. And he was so into that rivalry that like he would stop in Toledo and make them fill all the buses with fuel and all of that because he wanted those tax dollars that they were spending to be kept in the state of Ohio versus giving that tax money to Michigan. I do that with we'll be rolling back into town on like a 6 hour drive on fumes, and she's like, just stop at whatever, like the Mallard or whatever. She's like, just get I'm like, nah, if we can get it into Kinston city limits, I'll fill it up there. And I'd rather, it doesn't really behoot. Do I see that 77 cents come back to my life? No, but it's just like principle of you could be capturing that. And we're like 100% a person that we drive right through there, and we drive through all the time. We're like, it's kind of nice. And then there's not that thing where we're pulling in right here. Let's do this.
Yeah. So I'll be honest with you. So I've been in talks with a couple, and I hate to say it like this. The only thing that town is missing is people getting out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my other two commissioners and everybody, we need to get out and talk to people and network. So I talked to Ribeyes in Snow Hill because they did just pass mixed beverage not long ago, and they got a Ribeyes in there. And they're more than willing to put a Ribeyes in Pink Hill if we can pass this mixed beverage.
There you go.
That's huge. Huge, people. Like,
Yep.
because you get one, you're going to get a competitor,
Yep.
right?
And that's good too. Be happy when that comes. They're not coming to kill
No.
business A.
No.
Business B brings more people, and then they have a wait, and business A benefits. Like,
So we really, honestly, we have Two Dogs Pizza, which is owned by Joe Baker, and I love Joe Baker. He's a great guy, and he will never lose business. He will never lose it. He's got exactly. We got Highway 55.
Yep.
They're kind of going to pick up their game, right? That's really. Yeah. But we don't have anywhere else.
yeah, burger, fry chains. I mean,
We need a Mexican restaurant that can serve margaritas, because I'm never going to Mexican. Like say it, I'm not going to a Mexican restaurant where I can't get a margarita.
Yeah. Amen.
And so, we
Amen.
need
That'd be
those
tough.
things. And the commerce that's going to come to that town, the money, the tax, all that stuff. Another officer,
Yep.
bigger fire department. You know what I mean? So I
And
tell
the people of Lenoir County like to travel to the other towns of Lenoir County, like to kind of come back on the
Yeah.
tax thing. They're like, if I could stop and spend the money and keep it right there on the edge of Lenoir County, I'm going to do that every single time. If I can get right back there, and hey, I know we can eat in Wilmington, but if we can just make it to Snow
Oh, yeah.
or to Pink Hill, we're throwing the money, we're keeping it in the county again and again and again and
I
again.
consider every part of this county my community.
Yep.
I really do. If something's going on the Grange, I want to be there for them, because I want them to turn around and be there for us.
Right. Right.
Deep Run and us are very close, because Deep Run does not have a municipality. However, they've got some great things going on there. Not too long ago, we lost our bank in town. And we lost our bank in town because there's no businesses coming.
Yeah.
It's not worth it for them to stay.
Yeah.
But we need that bank. We got farmers. We got businesses that need to drop this in.
Yeah.
It's not a priority to some people, but it is a priority to me. And I say that because I want my son who's going to school to want to come back.
Yep.
I want my daughter to want to come back. And these kids now, they don't want to stay because there's nothing there.
Yep. Yep.
So I talked to the county, I went to a county board meeting. There's really nothing to do in Pink Hill for kids. We have a enormous basketball gym and 2 baseball, softball fields and a little park. Not owned by Pink Hill, but it's in the center of Pink Hill.
Interesting.
It's owned by the county.
Interesting.
So last year we heard $300,000 was being earmarked to fix it, put an AC unit in there, fix the floors, do all that. Great. Ain't seen it. I get it, bidders, there's things going on, and I know the county commissioner is working hard to do that, and they can't control bidders and bidding, but we need stuff. So I went to them and said, and a little rumor came across that you were talking about putting a splash park in another place in Lenoir County. Bring that to Pink Hill. I'll get you some of the money, we'll donate the land, and I'll get you a sponsor like they did up here for Pepsi.
Yeah.
I said, so, but the second I said, and it wasn't the county commissioners, but I was talking to the town, the second I said I was gonna get Duplin Winery. Oh, you can't have the wine company sponsor a kid's park. Why not? It's not like, wine's not gonna flow out of the water, you know, where
Yeah,
the
it's
water
still
will be.
water. It's not
It's
Chardonnay.
water, you know, I mean, and I understand I say water a lot different than the people down here as I've been identified from not around here.
Yes.
But
yes.
I will tell the people that say, you're not from around here, well, thank goodness, because we're the ones that are moving here, and
Yeah.
everybody else is moving away.
Yep.
So
Yep.
thank the people that are coming here. Hey, listen, and I don't need your thanks. What I need you to go is, stop saying you're an outsider.
Amen.
I'm not an outsider. I'm an American.
Yep.
I'm an American patriot, and everybody should be able to move to where they want to be able to move to, settle down and feel accepted.
Yeah.
It's not
Yep.
happening.
Yeah, it's wild. It's like, especially like as being a business owner, it's like you, and then I buy land in downtown, and then I fix it and make it nicer, and then it's like you still get the, well, you know, you're not from here, so how could you really, you know, you say you care, but how could you really care?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
not from here. Well, where's all your friends and family that are from here? Oh, yeah, that's right, they moved away.
So what do you say to them?
So do they really care?
What do you say to someone that says it?
I'm kind of pointed on it, and it just depends on what kind of a day I've had. But like sometimes I will say how much revenue I've paid taxes on since I've lived here, and it's an astonishing number. But like in general, it's just like, well, I mean, I don't understand how I couldn't care about it as much as anyone else that's from here, because I'm looking around and I'm looking at how it's been kept up by the people that are from here. And I can tell you nobody around here really gives too much a crap about it either, because if you've lived here for your whole life and you're also telling, my other favorite is, I lived here my whole life and this place is a piece of crap.
Yeah.
Well, so what have you been doing? Sitting on your hands your whole life and being a loser and doing nothing but complaining about problems and doing nothing to fix them. And in general, they don't even have a response to it. And it's not trying to be combative. It's just like, let's just be factual. You've lived here, you're 55. You've never not lived in this county. And you'll tell me all of its problems. And then you'll tell me there's nothing I can do to fix them.
Yeah.
Well, probably because you didn't do anything to try. Yeah. So when I start trying, shut the hell up and sit back on your hands like you have been, and keep sitting on your hands, because I came here, I brought people, I brought some coin to spend, and I'm helping, and I'm doing a hell of a lot more than most of the people that tell me how long they've lived here. And in general too, though, to give it some depth, there's a lot of people that come up and say, I love what you post, and I love the way that you stand up for it, and I love the way that you've lived here for 8, 12, 18, now it's 36 months, and you stand up on a Facebook post when someone's bashing the town of Kinston, and you'll stand up for it more than anybody that's lived there their whole lives. We love that. That's awesome. Can't say it in type. I can't put it in a message. I can't actually text you and say, go. I can't share your post and say, look at this, I love it because of this reason or this reason. But just so you know, on the backside, I love it.
So those are the moments, and those are the people that need to keep you driving.
Yep.
Right? So
yep.
I get a lot of negativity, especially after this, and as you can imagine,
it's
small town, the people, Mike resigning, blamed it on threats and all that stuff.
Sure.
I get it, but what keeps me going is, see this, it showed up in my mailbox. Somebody made this cup, and honestly, I respect it just so much more because they knew my background.
Yep.
So you look for the things like this that keep you going.
Yep.
And I say this when somebody tells me from now on that I'm not from here. I said, well, darn it, aren't you an American? Aren't we from everywhere?
Yeah.
I should be able to go to Seattle and be treated the same way I'm treated in my hometown.
Yep.
Because we're Americans. Nothing says you're an American North Carolina. You know what I mean? You're an American
Lenoir County,
from
Green County.
Right.
Yeah, Lenoir County, Green County.
So my answer to a lot of them now is, well, I'm an American. Are you American?
I like that.
Do you accept me as much as I accept you? Because what if I said, well, you're not from where I'm from, so you don't know really how to do things. Yeah. My thing to them is, I'm an American.
I like it.
And for the most part, I do believe, even as resistant as they are, I do believe they're still patriots. I still believe they believe in what this country has to offer and gives them. They get shadowed and they get a little bit of misjudgment because they think they've been here for so long and they only know. We had a old couple. There were 2 old couples that addressed me and my wife at a store and said, "What are you doing? Why? Why would you do this right now and make our town so stirred up?" And I said, well, maybe because nobody did it 5 years ago when it should have been done, or 10 years ago. And I said, I didn't mean for any of it. And I'm going to say that right here. Never meant for anything that happened at this last town meeting to happen the way it went.
Right.
For a year, I've been dealing with being roadblocked and stalemated and shut down and lied to. And listen, as a town commissioner, as a city council, you should be able to see the books. You should be able to see procedures, bids, all those things. Shut out of all that. Yeah. I have never seen any of that documentation.
That's incredible.
And I'll tell you that I was even, so far, I was locked out of town hall by our town clerk. She changed the key code, and said, you can't have it. And the problem with that is because she only thought that I was a bully. I never bullied her. All I did was talk direct, and I held her accountable for the job she was getting paid to do.
Yep.
And nowadays, people don't want to be held accountable. They want to, attaboy, great job.
Tell me it's going to be okay.
It really sucks. But great job, because we're not truthful anymore.
Yeah.
We're so afraid to be truthful because society tells us, oh, we can't make people upset. No, please don't do that. Listen, BS.
Yeah, it doesn't get results in the real world.
Stand your ground, hold your people accountable, make sure we are moving in a forward motion, because I've seen what countries look like when they move back, okay? And this is not gonna happen where I live.
Right.
And I refuse it. You know, everybody's like, Pete, you gotta run for mayor. You gotta run for mayor. I will. It won't be, see, Tuesday we have a meeting, and it's gonna be, I really would hope that Ronnie Ingram would send down some sheriffs down there. I think our police chief will need the help. We are in a transition period. Obviously, we don't have a mayor, and now we don't have any clerks. The pro tem mayor should take mayor. She has been appointed as pro tem. She's used that title all this time. It's her job to take the mayor right now. She's got it till the term is up, which is next year in November. Gotcha. So the mayor's spot is up and another commissioner's spot is up. Okay. So I truly believe it is incumbent on her to fulfill her duties. And I understand, well, Pete, why, mayor? No, really, the mayor shouldn't be the controlling factor. Right. What you saw in those meetings, that shouldn't be it. These 3 town commissioners are the ones that have votes. Yep. They should be the ones doing the best for the town. The mayor, and I'm not going to say it, but the mayor should be that figure that walks into businesses, walks to your town people, goes to events. Do you know that
all like events that all types of people throw?
All,
not just
your heavy, your fire department, not just your fire department, not just your select people. Movie nights. We do a movie night every month in town.
Very cool.
Outdoor movie night.
Free. When is it?
So it's different dates. Like we're going to do this Saturday, right? So we're doing it.
Do you like first Saturdays, or do you just always change it?
It's changing. So Josh and Sierra Dunham. I don't know if you know them.
Definitely know the names.
They own H&H Farm Supply down there. Okay. They own a bunch of other things. And they're buying things to make things better. Well, they run an outdoor movie night on a big blow-up 25 screen.
That's awesome.
Free. Don't charge anybody. Tell you to come out there with your blankets and chairs. They also offer free food, hot dogs or hamburgers sometimes. It's either hot dogs or free chips, free drinks. They don't make money. That whole thing, just the licensing fee costs them $300 to $400 just for one movie.
Yeah, for like the movie. Yeah.
Minus the food. They don't make money. Now they do get donations here and there, but they don't make money.
Sure.
Nobody showed up to that. None of the town officials. Really? I'm there every time.
Yeah.
Well, I want to be.
Well, and like you said, there's like 700 people, so it shouldn't be that hard to cover all the things on the calendar. You would think.
Oh, no. No, I mean,
you know what I mean?
It's not a lot. We're out there doing things. So I threw a spring festival. Mayor showed up for 20 minutes. Nobody else. Why? Why would you not support the things that are bringing people to this town that could possibly, one, spend money at our businesses, and two, go, you know what? I want to open a business here. This is the way they treat their business. I want to do that.
Amen on that one, brother.
But why would you not support that?
Yeah.
I could not imagine not being there for them.
Right.
I will promote my businesses in town every day because I know the value. And I will help the people because I know the value. If you're not in it for the right reason, why are you there?
Yeah, for sure.
That's how I say it.
The businesses bring it so much on so many levels. Like, you know, I'm a little biased, but in general, if you own a business, you're probably of somewhat like put together as a person, right?
Yeah,
so
I would imagine.
You're probably a quality person to add to a community, especially one that would like to complain that it's it's not that great. Well,
Right.
You're bringing business owners to town, which are generally stand-up people that generally care about their own children's education and are generally okay with investing into the education system, which is atrocious here. We've learned, it's coming from where we came from. I mean, I would have told you 3 years ago before I moved here, there's no way I would ever homeschool my kids. I can't. No, the best part of their life is having school, because we get 6.5, 7 hours, no kids in the house. This is fantastic. We can get work done. We're homeschooling our own kids like down here, and to be honest, it's been awesome, because they hang out in here, they come in, they do their work, they've got their desks, they come in, and now I've got a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old that are experiencing day-to-day life. Yeah, they still like bring the neat Nintendo and they're like watching videos, but like they show up into a professional environment. We're not that professional, but like, you get what I mean? They go to a business.
Clothes don't make the man.
Yeah.
You know that. I dress like this because I didn't know what to expect, but clothes don't make the man. I promise you that.
Oh, I'm with that. Like, I like it too, because like you're settling, you're kind of like shooting down like the stereotypes a little bit, but I kind of believe that like sometimes the clothing does make the man, you know what I mean? And so that's kind of kind of how we feel.
I love it.
We kind of feel it like,
I love it.
Clothing does make
Where
the man.
did you get that?
So the podcast is now sponsored. We've got a couple of sponsors. We're sponsored by Additive America, of course. We're sponsored by Big Bark Social, and then we're also we picked up a little sponsor in the town of LaGrange. We got these hooked up. Steph did the design, and then our friends at Inkables hooked us up with them.
Do you recognize that dude on that shirt?
Look at
I
that.
don't know who that is. I don't know where you got that picture from.
Please. We saw it. I was
God,
like,
I wish he would put a shirt on or something.
I loved it. I was like, we got to do it, man. So yeah, we got one.
So
for
can
you.
anybody buy these?
Yeah, we actually we've got don'tgavelme.com also.
Really?
And they're going to be available as soon as stuff gets them up on the site. So like by the time this drops, they're going to be available.
Just for you.
Don't worry, we're capitalists too, but
Hey,
if
I don't
things
mind.
turn out great, we're going to definitely make sure we make it, worth your while. Cause,
Listen, I don't mind
it's the
anybody
man
making
myth
money
right
off of
here.
anything.
I
And
love it.
let me just put this little disclaimer though. I want people to understand that the Don't Gavel Me isn't about the former mayor. It's not about the former mayor.
No, it's
not about
huge.
it's not about what's happened, and it's not about how wrong that was. It's about we need people to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
We need people in the communities and in these in local and big government. Hey, listen, we need people in big government to stand up.
Amen.
I mean, and I tell it to people all the time. I do not care what side of the aisle you're on. It doesn't matter to me because I don't have that luxury. I served everybody.
Yep.
And that's how I plan on doing it. I don't care about your affiliations to a party or not a party or independent. That doesn't matter to me.
Yep.
I'm more locked on to what are your values? What is your moral compass and how does it point? What is your character? So I'm going to say it again. I'm going to put it back up there because I love it.
We had to get him in the pink,
And
and
we got-
everything just came together.
The pink is perfect. It's Pink Hill.
That's
I mean,
right.
you can't do anything better than that.
We were like, what colors? We need them like literally
No.
tomorrow. And she's like, this is this in pink. And we were like,
That's awesome. It's good. And listen, I don't mind. Make money. Do the. If I had, and I don't want to say, like a lot of people are like, oh man, that guy's a Neanderthal, blah blah blah. I want to open up my own business. I just don't know what I want to do. I ain't grown up yet.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm with
retired.
that, man. I'm with
happy
that.
with my retirement, but there's something eventually I want to do. But I love capitalism. I want people to make money. I'm not that guy that goes, well, they make so much more than me. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm like,
because I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm so happy in my life. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think a lot of people, and just, again, not to like jump into the regional stuff, but like, does my happiness cost anyone around here any of theirs? If I'm really, really happy tomorrow and things go really, really well for me, did you have like a bummer day because I took too much happiness out of the happiness jar? I don't think that shit
But
exists.
some people are like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, the ultra
Really, stop
petty
bragging.
dude.
Stop bragging.
Yeah.
Stop bragging.
I love that.
Who cares?
That's why I'm into all the like. That's why I listen to all of the like rap music and stuff. Is because actually most of the songs in rap are about talking back crap to people that like why are you talking about me? Why don't you just talk about something that you like? Because you
Yeah.
hate me so much. Like,
I'm glad you brought up a song. You know,
just love stuff
a
like
song,
that, man.
I got a song sent to me as a threat.
nice.
You
Little
ever heard of Welcome to My House by New Breed?
No, but I'm sure it's lovely.
Okay, so if you ever get a chance, it's actually, now let me tell you something. Here's the funny part.
You probably live to it.
I live to it.
Yeah, I knew it.
I live to it. It motivates me, and it's actually a really good song.
Yeah.
Had it not been sent on the basis it was sent,
Right.
I live to that. And I'm going to tell you, I love it now. But
Yep.
you talk about those things, and I'm like, why are people so hateful, right?
Yeah.
Why are they hateful? Because you're successful.
Right.
And you watch that in town now. In my town, we've got a company, and it's East Carolina Broadband. They had an opportunity to get broadband out to the rural farmers, and that's where this whole campaign kind of started.
Gotcha.
The people in charge of that company have, some personal arguments with the town officials in the past. I don't care about that. I have the luxury of not worrying about the past and
Amen.
all that. What I worry about is that's a company in my town, and they can offer our people broadband, students, kids, things that don't normally have it for a good price.
Yeah.
They were also going to offer the town hall free, so $300 a month, $300. And if they couldn't meet the standard that we were getting, they were going to pay us $300 for that month.
Even better.
Wi-Fi throughout the town, so we'd have Wi-Fi at our parks,
Yes.
at our festivals,
Yep. Yes.
security, but no, personal reasons, because in that town they don't make money. No. The people that are big fish in small ponds
Yeah.
love money, but they don't want anybody else to have it.
Yeah.
So this company, and let me tell you, the woman that owns this company could probably buy everybody in that town. But she just wanted to grow her company. She asked for her antenna to be on our water tower. No liability to the town, none of that. They shot it down.
Yeah. Dangerous.
Don't let her grow. Don't let her do that.
Yeah.
So now Sierra and Josh are the new targets. They got money. They bought 2 buildings in town. They're renovating them. They're going to rent them out and make things happen. Oh no, can't happen. Stop being a big fish in a small pond.
Yep.
Because to me, I'm not impressed. You want to be a big fish in a big pond? Man, you got my attention.
It's different.
But don't be a big fish in this little pretty pond that you
Yeah.
created.
Yeah. I'm with that. Like, it even goes like, this is one that happened to us in the last year, and it was like, we started a company. My wife, we were like, we're going to homeschool the kids. She's like, what? I'm like, what do you want to do? I don't want you to go get a job. I want you to start something, and we'll get it going. What do you want to do? We kind of put some things together. We're like, let's do some social media. I've got a little bit of marketing stuff. Launched Additive America purely on social media acumen and my name that I made on LinkedIn as an influencer and my thing. So like super niche, blew up. Not a lot of people know it because not a lot of people get on LinkedIn. So if you're not on LinkedIn, you have no clue who I am. You're like, why does he seem so confident and cocky? Check out my LinkedIn. It's fireballs, and I haven't touched it in a while. But like, it's amazing what you can do with social media if you get really, really into something and you're in a niche market. Anywho, we're like, let's start another company. This town could use some social media help. Like, how are you going to be a guy that's like, how are you going to be a company that's already been around for 4 or 5 years and then like be actively upset that someone else in your town of 20-some thousand people decided to start a business that does graphic design, social media help, website building, things like that, because, well, that's what we do. How many flipping auto parts stores are out here? Like 9 in a mile.
How many restaurants?
How many restaurants? You mean to tell me that Sugar Hill came down here? Go drive by Pizza Villa. You can't grab a seat.
Right.
It didn't hurt. It's
pitiful.
ridiculous.
It's pitiful.
It's pathetic, and it comes from people that are afraid of a challenge.
Yep.
If you're
And change.
and change.
And change.
The threat of a challenge of OMG, I might have someone else pitching the same person as me. Well, if you've got a 4-year head start, you shouldn't be worried about little old me.
But Zach, you're an outsider.
I don't know. You say those edgy things, and you got that hat.
Just saying.
Right.
Just saying.
And it's wild. It's wild.
Right? So I've heard
I
that
love
too.
it.
I'm like, they're like, you're going to go talk to Zach. Isn't he the one that wears the hat backwards?
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, he is.
Yeah.
And you know what? I love it for him because that's his style and that's what he wants. You know what I mean? Like normally on a day-to-day basis, this isn't me, man. Mm-hmm. Right? So I'll do this because I want to represent my town the best way I can.
Yep. Absolutely.
But me, I'm down at Pink Hill. I'll normally run around with a sleeveless shirt, and that's it, man. Me and my daughter will run around on a golf cart, and we'll just do our thing.
Saw you with the rope on the swing.
No, dude, right? So make Dad's job easier, right?
Yeah,
That's the only way you're gonna do it, because you can't sit out there and swing all day,
No.
and that girl won't get off.
She's not.
No.
I love it.
No,
Was that the park in town there? Or
Yeah, and that's a shame too, and I'll tell you that. Unfortunately, we've worked on projects. Me, Josh, Sierra, and a couple others worked on projects. We just redid our tennis courts to do 1 tennis court and 2 pickleball courts. And I don't know if you ever played pickleball. I never did in my life.
Trying to get into it, man.
Buddy, almost the same thing.
We're on the ping
almost
game.
on the same thing, but on a bigger scale. I've had a blast. Now, I'm old. You're only going to get me out there for one game, man.
It's
But
not good for the knees.
it's great. It's great, and you start seeing people come out there. So the next project we'd like to do is we got outdoor basketball court. We'd like to get Duke to put some lights up. We're going to pressure wash the ground, and we're going to repaint it. We need it, right? That park. Thank goodness my daughter does not know what condoms are.
Yeah, I feel it.
Condoms and bottles over there, and it's a shame. But nobody's taking care of it, and we need to invest. So we need to invest, and the only thing right now we're investing is drama.
Yeah.
That's
Sideshows. Yeah.
Hey, make this disappear, it'll go away.
Head in the sand is what I like to call it.
Hey, if I do this, and they don't see it, they were so against that live video. So Sierra and Josh videoed town for a long time before they did the live video. Everybody's doing it, right? This is where we're at, and we need to get with it. We need to get with it. And you're talking to a 47-year-old man, right? You're lucky I can make this thing work.
Yeah.
Okay?
To be honest, we watched it, and again, we come from a bigger city. This is it's a much different game down here, way slower. But like, we watched that and we're like, people been doing that where we come from since you could literally, they would take an actual camera and record things, and we kind of sat there and we were like, just imagine, because what we call it the good old boys club, and it's just, we'll just, if enough of us, like you said, if two people are best friends, then there's the whole control of an entire municipality. Or if you got 3 people that want, here, it only takes 3 in the town of Kinston, and you can just neglect to do anything forever as long as you want. And it's like, you can do that, put your head in the sand, but the problems don't go away. They compound, believe it or not. Look at the streets.
People have to leave. If you plan on being in office or doing anything for the people, you have to leave your personal stuff home.
Yeah.
When you get out there and you do that, and you get on the board and you need to vote, you need to do those things. Your personal, I don't act on anything personal. My voting and my suggestions are based on what's the betterment for the town, the community, the businesses, which in turn, selfishly enough, comes back to me, right? So I'm not going to do this forever, but I want to set it straight and down that path to make it go better, so that I can sit and enjoy eventually my retirement again, and raising my kids, and hopefully somebody takes over that. I've been asked, hey, will you run for a commissioner of the county? Kind of cool right here where I'm at. Want to make sure this happens, and maybe people start seeing that this can happen, and they change the things that happen everywhere else, Kinston, Lenoir, wherever, because I hear it, man. I get people call me all the time. Hey, we need you down here in LaGrange. We need you in Kenansville. They need you. Don't call me, and I don't mind, because but pick my brain, cool.
Yeah.
But they don't need me there.
Exactly.
If you're calling me and you want to talk, they need you there.
Yep.
Stand up in a meeting.
Yep.
Voice yourself. Don't be afraid. Be that person. Be that person. If I could say one thing is, if you fully believe in what it is, be that person.
That's hashtag Don't Gavel Me.
Hashtag Don't Gavel Me.
Whether you are with what this guy said or not with what this guy said,
Right.
if you're still willing to stand up and say, no, you're not going to ram it down my throat, you're still a hashtag Don't Gavel Me person.
This meaning right here, this right here means more than don't stick the gavel in my face, don't shut me up. It means stand up for what's right.
Yep.
I don't care if 10 people tell you it's wrong and you know it's right, and you better have the backup.
Yeah, make sure you're good. Yeah.
But once you do, don't stand down.
Yep.
Be it. Yep. We have a saying in the teams, and it's front sight focused, right? Got to be front sight focused. Aware of your surroundings, but be front sight focused. But you've got to be able to embrace the suck.
Yeah.
Because it's coming.
No doubt.
The more you stand up, the more they're going to give it to you.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's the thing. And that's how some people ask, like, how does that make you feel that like you go out and you do things that you feel passionate about and then people respond negatively? I'm like, you mean I elicited an emotional response. Like that's the point of the whole thing. Would I have hoped that you would have had an emotional response leaning a little bit towards the way that I feel? Well, sure. But ultimately, if you still like people that do silly things like graffiti sidewalks aren't really Don't Gavel Me people.
No.
But people that will stand there and
they're cowards.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll say it here.
Absolutely.
If you did that out there, you're a coward.
Love it.
And if you don't like that, man, I'll sit down and explain it to you how you're a coward. Yeah. No offense, but we don't do those things.
It's silly.
We don't send messages on burner phones to families. Right. We don't do those things.
Yeah.
Men and women who are men and women, we do this.
Yeah.
Who does that is a coward. Yeah. And I'll tell you every day it's a coward. I don't care. And if you don't like that, you can text me and we can talk about it. You can call me.
Come scribe it on our
Call
side.
Call me. You want to cut that in my grass?
Yeah, come on, baby.
Come on. Just saying.
Yeah. I love it. I think it's great. I'm a big fan of it. And I don't know why I've always been that way, but like it goes back to like political history in my family. My grandfather on my dad's side from Eastern Tennessee went and did worked in steel mills and stuff like that. Ohio River, East Ohio, West Virginia area, little tiny towns when they're booming. And he did not appreciate the way that the big places were treating all the people. So this is like the 60s, right? So unions, there was a time where they kind of needed to really exist. Not the hugest union guy now, myself personally, but so he just latched onto it. And he's in this tiny little town and he's not from there. He's from Eastern Tennessee. And they're like, why does Holcomb care so much? I thought we had him hired as a manager. Why is he taking up for the staff? And then he ends up works for steel workers, and then he gets appointed to a state job for OSHA from a governor appointment, and that's what brought my dad's side of the family up to Columbus. And then boom, his family, now his kids it takes off because he brought them along, throws them in another situation, and they took onto it real well. But I've just me and my grandfather, he passed away about 10 years ago, but the amount of we would always be into it we would always be bickering about politics. And he would stand there and at the end it's all love. We could sit there I could get out of school, high school, and drive over there at 2:30 and sit there until 10:30 and we would just
argue.
Yeah, argue and drive it home and just and then we get up and be all right, see you later, man. Love you. See you later. And then
that's what we miss now.
Yes, why can't that be a thing?
So
why healthy debate is fantastic? Why is it so criminalized? It's
not just fantastic. It's needed.
It's essential,
right? Yeah. Because when we start thinking about one way, our way. Oh, you have to think my way. Oh, cool. You think my way? Come on over here.
Grab a pitchfork. Let's go.
Man, let's all just sit around here and we're going to think my way.
Yeah.
No, it's not healthy, right? It doesn't get our minds thinking. It doesn't give us the capability of going, you know what? You got an idea there. Mm-hmm. I don't care if I thought about it. I don't care if I had agreed with it. But you really have something there. That's where we're missing things. Mm-hmm. And a healthy argument, it's amazing. But nobody wants to do it anymore.
Yeah. Well,
nobody.
What makes us different from all the other animals? We have the ability to reason. So why are we trying to eliminate that from our society and make it to where if that monkey doesn't walk the way that all the other monkeys walk, we go over there and we kill him? Why are we doing that?
It's power, man. It's power though too.
Yeah,
it's power.
Oh, absolutely.
And listen,
mind control.
I see it here. Mm-hmm. I do see it up here.
Oh, yeah.
I understand. I understand what's going on, but a lot of people say, "Not my dog, not my fight." Mm-hmm. It's not true. It's not true. If everybody said it's not my dog, it's not my fight, nothing would get done.
Yeah.
And we got to, man. And I say it for younger generation. Mm. You have got to stand up and do the things.
Right.
Because we're not going to be around. But a lot of people don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. And especially in the younger generation right now, they're like, it's just easier not.
Yeah, they don't want to put
Like-
themselves out there.
Like
in
I
the
can
social
sit at home and play
world.
modern warfare all day. Why do I need to do that? Right? No. You need to do it because you need a future. You need to do it because eventually you're going to have kids. And I promise you, when that happens, your
Start
mindset
caring a little bit
changes.
more. I know.
Right? Like you go, all right, I can't. Okay, we need to make this happen. Right? We need to do the right thing. And sometimes doing the right thing hurts. I'm telling you, it has hurt my family in the last week and a half.
No, for sure.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Right? But I say this, come after me. I'm a grown man. And I mean come after me in a way of, let's talk. But please don't
Right.
come after my family.
Amen.
My wife is a saint. She is a teacher. She is a saint. And when I say she's a saint, 2 reasons. One, she's got me. And 2, she's truly a saint. I mean it. Like, she said, she looked at me after that meeting, and there's a picture somebody put online of their camera where he had that gavel about 3 inches from my face, and they paused it. But they had a camera facing the public as well. And my wife's face was like, and she goes, God, you've grown so much. And I love you. She goes, I was just scared. And I said, well, babe, I said, we all have our moments, and right there was the moment. The moment was, don't react, don't overreact, but here you go. Now you get to stand and say the things that needed to be said. And I would have never, ever said anything about our town clerk. Would have never. Now, mind you, there was a lot of things being done wrong. But I emailed our mayor 3 to 4 times. He refused to email me. I asked him in a person to person, hey, is your email working? Yeah. So are you going to email me? He goes, no. Okay, cool. So guess what? Now we get to put this out in the public, right? Because normally you would want to do that stuff in closed session.
Yeah, it's like, you're not trying to just sue someone and take them straight to court. You want to try and figure things out
Right.
and, be
Arbitration,
amicable
right?
and
Do the
arbitrate.
things.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
and
if you give
again,
me no option,
yeah,
here we are now. Now you've just given me the stage. And I'm going to take that stage.
Yep.
And I'm going to do the right thing.
Yep.
I don't care. I've had 20 people, 30 people. You didn't do the right thing. According to you. Right?
Yep.
Not according to, first off, the Robert's Rule. I'm a reader, and I do my research.
Yep.
And I'm going to look things. Okay, I know I did the right thing. So now where are we going? Now what's your next excuse?
Yeah.
Nothing? Okay. I'm okay with that.